It's DJ and Brant for another exciting catch-up episode. How you doing there, DJ?
Oh,
Just turn
you,
it on.
you tickle my innards.
All right there,
Uh,
Well, I'm
I
glad.
don't let I don't let a lot of guys get to my innards, but you got to my innards.
Well, I consider it a privilege to get to your innards and to encourage you and hey, we're in this together, folks. No matter what's going on in your life, the fact that you're watching right now means that you made it. Means that you're alive. I was telling Lovejoy in the chat. I love that guy. Last Friday, and
You said if you couldn't feel the inside of a casket, wasn't that
yeah,
it?
if you don't feel the inside of a casket, listen, I'm
I
doing it
must
where
be
it
lucky.
looks like I'm holding up the edges of the computer screen where I'm at. It's going to be a good day. I heard that 30 years ago, and I never forgot that. Hey, I'm alive. But and then I somewhere along the way I adopted the phrase, I'm either up or getting up. I'm either up or getting up. So
Love
wherever
that.
you are today, be up or getting up, and we're in this together. So we want to encourage you today. How's DJ doing today?
DJ's blessed. DJ's blessed, and we've had Earth Day this week,
Earth Day.
and we have a beautiful full moon.
Oh
And
yeah, I saw that last night.
yeah, and so I figured that the moon got jealous and was wanting to show off.
Well, the wolf is part of the night helmet, and the wolf is part of my family crest, DJ.
Oh,
Yeah. Of course, the wolf, though, meant something different in the Middle Ages. Resourceful, protected, loyal, and especially protective. But, so I was extra alert last night when I saw that full moon. But I did I
woo!
almost howled at the moon. Now I got a funny story if you want to hear it.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. I'm not doing anything. Go ahead.
You're not doing anything. We're doing the show.
Oh,
Okay, so I was a performer early in life, okay, and so by the time I was leading music at a church, I was asked to do this. Um, I'd already been a performer, so I wasn't interested in performing. I was just interested in doing good worship music, right? And so this lady, this old biddy, she was a gossip. She was a mean little tutor, and I guess in the South they call her a ring-tailed tutor. I've heard that before. And I had this song that Carmen used to remember. Carmen, the good-looking Italian Christian artist back in the day in the 80s and early 90s. Carmen.
uh-huh.
Well, he had the song "Let Me Hear Your War Cry," and she thought I said something else, and she complained about me, to the elders of that church. She said, "Why is you saying 'Let me hear your wolf cry'?" And you don't know how tempted I was that next Sunday to go, let me hear your wolf cry. But I didn't do it out of honoriness. I wanted to do it because you know me, I run to a fight. I don't back down. If good people are being bullied or whatever, I don't back down from confronting that. Or if there's gossip or whatever, I don't back down from that either. I say, let's get all the liars in one room and take care of this. And because of that policy, we were able to flourish, in different ministries and projects and even business. If you don't tolerate that, I have just transparency and love, but just be open. Say what you mean what you say. I learned that a long time ago. But anyway, let me hear your wolf cry. I'm not sure. I guess we got to that from the full moon last night, but I was driving in the mountains last night, saw the full moon. So beautiful.
Oh,
Creation,
that's
so beautiful, folks. And it's just good every once in a while to turn this off or set it down and take a
that beautiful harvest moon that we had, and I saw it Monday morning. I was running an errand. It was about 6 o'clock.
yeah.
I saw that big full moon, and I thought, today's Earth's Day, Earth Day.
Hey,
And the moon was like, me too. Look at me, I'm pretty too. And but I was thinking it was at that same intersection. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, I was having one of those zippity doo-dah days, where everything's just going just perfect.
Hey, everything's going my way, right?
And so I pray when I drive, and if you see me drive, you see why. But anyway,
I was praying while no, I'm joking. You're a great driver. I'm just teasing.
thank you. Yeah, did you notice when I came to a stop, I put my arm out to protect you? So even though you're wearing your seatbelt, anyway, it's just this one particular morning about 5 years ago, I thought instead of saying my same prayers and blessings that I usually do, I'm just really full of the Spirit. And so I asked God, I said, "Good morning, God." I said, "How's your day going?" Nobody ever asked you how your day is going. And you know what the impression was that I got back? As planned.
As planned.
Now that's a God answer because I
It
wouldn't have
is.
thought of that. He's already got it figured out. He knows what's going to happen. He knows the bad stuff, he knows the good stuff, and he's with you no matter what, unless you don't want him there.
That's a good point. Does God ever have a bad day? He has a planned day, but
Does he have to shave?
well, no, he's God. You know,
He doesn't have to
it's
wear
like that
glasses.
Will Ferrell
He doesn't
movie.
have false teeth. You know,
This guy said, "Hey, this guy saw Will Ferrell, which Will Ferrell's playing Jesus in a movie, and pretty funny." And he said, "Hey, you need something to drink?" He said, "No, I'm good. I'm God." But you know what? The whole story of creation in the Bible is that God wanted a family. And
yes, he's lonesome.
if you read Romans chapter 1, you know, we don't usually talk about scripture on the show, but a lot of people have heard of that book of Romans, and it's
The letter, uh-huh.
a letter of Romans, yeah, and he well, it's a good point too. If you read it as letters, it takes on a whole new life too. But he's with creation. He's always talking to his kids, and it's good to talk to him, because if you believe in him, you know how good he is. And so, but yeah, and I got that sense too, kind of a wink there, just the beauty of creation. If I throw this in the forest, it's not going to evolve into a car. The second law of thermodynamics says that it will decay. And we could talk for years about that, but I believe that you folks have a destiny. I believe that your life was already planned out. My book, Red Pill Prophet, on Amazon, I never plug it, but I'm plugging it now, will help you with your destiny, and understanding that you're not an accident. No matter what you've been through, you mean something, and you have a destiny, and you are loved. I just want to encourage you to seek that out. But all that to say is, uh, the days are written, I believe, and you don't have to live in fear and anxiety if you believe that your days are already written. It doesn't
Mhm.
mean you're resolved. Oh, no matter what, it just you have free will, but don't worry. Someone famous once said you can't added 1 minute to your life by worrying, and that's a good thing. So don't worry. Who would have thought that one of the most profound theological statements would be from the guy who wrote the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy"? Don't worry, be happy. And if you're
Uh-huh.
not happy, act happy, and you'll be happy. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Ecclesiastes, it talks about time and unforeseen circumstances befall us all.
Wow.
And it means stuff happens, you know. God
This is a
doesn't sit
nice.
around and think, I'm going to make them sick so they can't go to work on Friday or something. No, no, time and unforeseen circumstances befall us all.
You,
And
you
he's
know,
with us, but things happen.
well, this is a wonderful spiritual time right now we're having there. Lady DJ, mother DJ, and Father Fricker, and
Father Pricker.
Fricker. If I was a priest, I'd be Father Fricker. I was Professor Fricker. Now I'm Father Fricker. I am a father. But all that to say is, you know what? Uh, one of the biggest changes in my life, and I tell this to people that have no religious. I'm not religious, but they don't have any kind of spiritual life. but they resonate with this. But in my own personal life, I had an experience, many experiences, but one was just the realization that 99% of what happens to me is not God or the devil. It's life, and also it's the result of my decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody to blame but me. And sometimes things just happen. You ever have one of those days, things just happen. But you know what? You don't have to let them happen alone. That's why it's important. Surround yourself with friends. And you're my friend, DJ. I'm your friend. So,
You're my twin.
hey, see the resemblance?
You're the one
Right.
that said that. You and David Lovejoy, and he even said that I'm his twin. I've got a love
You got a
twin.
lot twins.
Yeah, and what's funny is that most of the people that are my twins are men. And I think that's really cool because it means kind of the counterpart of what we do and how we do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're coming up on the anniversary of when we met, and it was because of David Lovejoy
yeah.
and
Yes.
Agency Radio. So really appreciate the journey that you never know. It's like you said, because you made this choice or that choice. And my life has been interesting, just like yours has.
Yeah.
And I love, whenever we're collating coupons or stuffing envelopes, whatever, we all talk about ourselves. And I've always got a story, just like you do. You've always got a story about. One of the questions I asked this week was, of course, we had questions about Earth Day, and do you know how long we've been celebrating that?
How long have we been
Since
celebrating?
1970. It's
Whoa, wow.
so it's kind of new, really, and it's just 54 years. And they had a big rally in New York to introduce it there. And Paul Newman and Ali McGraw were the speakers talking about Earth and how to take care of it and all of that kind of thing.
Wow. Wow.
And do you know where most of the oxygen comes from that's on the Earth?
Trees.
That's what I thought.
The
And
Amazon
yes,
forest.
they contribute, but the biggest contributor is the things growing in the ocean. I
Really?
didn't know until Monday.
Wow.
So it's amazing what you can learn as we have these things. And then also Wednesday, of course, the whole week is Administrative Professionals Week, and used to it was called Secretaries Week.
Can I give
But
myself a raise since I do that too for myself?
yes, you may. Yes, you may, because
Good
you
job there. I'm gonna
well,
get a
you're an
cake.
administrative professional for me, and you're talking a while ago about how uh, you don't allow gossip and things like that. Thank you, because you handle a lot of our Facebook posts, and I've seen you call out spammers. And
Yeah.
thank because I don't know how to do that. And I've you just very professionally wrote the answer to that. And I thought, wow, and I really appreciate you handling things for us anyway, our YouTube channel and all the other things you've gotten us involved with. But I want to thank you for that. Also, this week is National Telephone Week. And
Wow. A lot of holidays this week.
yeah, well, things to remember. And so one of the questions I wanted to ask you and also our viewers, do you remember the first job that you had, the first real job? I'm not talking about mowing the yard or babysitting and all that. I'm talking about where you had a W-2 form, right? And
Well, it was for my uncle. It was a job, but I didn't get a W-2.
now, well, I'm talking about your first real job where you went in and applied.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Okay, okay.
okay, are you with me on the professional side
Mhm.
of things? So
Oh yeah.
where was your first professional job?
I was playing piano for 25 bucks an hour at Crystal's Pizza.
That's right. I forgot
Yeah.
you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 13 years old, and I guess they thought I was older. I didn't lie or anything, but yeah. Yeah, I
I
was
worked,
a professional.
first time I got paid for a music gig was I got $25 for the whole thing. And it was the St. Joseph's Convent's smorgasbord.
Hey, all right. They're a
And
mother
I
DJ. That's
couldn't I couldn't write it to people to tell them because I didn't know how to spell smorgasbord. But anyway, but as far as my first W-2 form that I ever did, I had worked on the phone doing telephone soliciting for Hoover vacuum cleaner or one of the vacuum cleaner companies. It was really popular, but it was more of a, everybody had folding chairs in a dark room kind of thing. And we just got paid. We didn't fill out anything. And I think
Right.
everything under the table or something. But my first real job was with Save a Stop, and it was a wholesale drug place, and it became West Texas Wholesale.
I remember Save a Stop.
Do you?
Yeah.
And it was the coolest thing because it was in a warehouse and I worked in the office. I had taken 10 key, or excuse me, I had taken key punch. Aunt Ruby Joe and Uncle JD paid for me to take that when I left my dad. And I didn't graduate from it, but I got the job before I was alleged to graduate. I just
Wow.
didn't get it. I still don't get computers, but anyway. Uh,
Hey, you're doing pretty good right now with me with Zoom and all that.
Well, you know, you're my professor on that too, but and I've done camera work all my life almost, but
Yeah.
this is a whole different deal, and you've turned up the heat on how we do things professional.
Oh,
But I got hired to do 10 key because they were fixing to do computers at West Texas Wholesale, and then I ended up keeping the job for like 3 years, but I could buy. Uh, my canister set and
oh,
a lot of drug things, toothpaste and all that kind of stuff I could get at wholesale. And that was one of the benefits of my first job where you filled out an application. And that was my first one that I ever had. So that's kind of neat. And then also, do you remember your first telephone you ever had? Your very first own phone?
my first own phone?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, yeah, yeah.
Was it living with your folks or was it when you were out on your own?
Well, that's a good question because my first phone was when I was growing up as a baby and a boy, and I remember a red phone. I remember a Mickey Mouse phone, and of course cell phones came along, and that was a whole different thing as well. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting, interesting.
My first phone was whenever I had left my dad, and I was 17 and I'd already been in college for a semester. And then I took the key punch course. I stayed at the Y, and then I moved into a duplex. And so I had to get my own phone. And it was a big decision. And I had never had a Princess phone. Daddy still, when he died, he still had the same black one, you know. And it was a desk phone, and there was just one phone in the house. That's just the way he did it.
You have a
But
super long cord, so you go walk all the way through the house and still be on
well,
the.
that no, that was me. I believe it. I've always
Remember
had
those?
long phone cords. I'm known for that. But then after I lived there a while, then I paid extra money and I had an extension phone for the bedroom.
Oh
And
wow,
and I got another Princess phone, but that one had the light that lit up on it, you know, whenever you pick up the receiver. And
fancy,
yeah,
fancy.
but those are things, especially if you pay for your own, it's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
And then as we lived in different houses, well, then back then you had to call the phone company and make an appointment. Well, we'll be there between 8 and 10, 10 and 12, you know, all those schedules so you could be there and have them install it. And they had to install it. Now you have a cell phone, you just go home with it, you know, so it's not that
Yeah.
big a deal. But back then, we cherished things a little bit more. And then calling the telephone operator. My dad left me home alone because he didn't want to pay for cigarette. I was too stupid, I guess, to get into trouble. But uh, if I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I was lonesome, I'd go sit on the little telephone stool and I would call the operator.
Oh.
And then sometimes, and we had party lines back then, sometimes I just listen to other people talk.
Wow. Wow. You know, now, I don't know that it's such a great thing, with phones. And I'm a media guy. I put out just as much media with my phone as I do with my computer. It's crazy. And I don't know that it's a good thing. An acquaintance of mine, his organization claimed to have spent over $1 million on a study. This was 2013, that 60% of Americans were most anxious when they were not on their phones. And that was a good 10 years ago, or actually 11 years ago. So I don't know that it's a great thing, unless we're doing what we're doing. This show, DJ, you and we're doing this to do it, to encourage people. And we're not doing it to make money with it, but we're doing it to encourage people and putting out positive media, because it's my belief that negative media is where it's what's got us here in America, such divisiveness. And so positive media is very important. And there are times when people, will listen to positive media encouragement, and sometimes that encouragement will help save their lives. I can tell you some examples of that, but basically, unless you're using it to encourage people, maybe it's good to maybe watch the screen time. Who knows? I don't know, but but
I've had people unsubscribe to the e-blast because they don't want that much happy, is what they've told me. And I mean, I'm still reporting the murders and stuff for the police department and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But then the other thing, the police department is really, really good, and they'll catch them the next day. So I
I don't want that much
feel
happy.
doesn't have to be downer. And we have more means of communication than we've ever
Uh-huh.
had, and we don't communicate. The biggest boogers I've got on finding out what is going on with them is people in the communication business. Or if somebody says, well, we have a marketing director now. Okay, they don't do it either. And so I still have to, hey, tell me, I heard that you're doing this on Friday. Would you please tell me what's going on it? Oh, yeah, so and so didn't tell you. No, nobody sent me a press release. I don't have anything on it. And the other thing is, you were talking about anxiety. Last week there was a deal on the e-blast about 144,000 people in a study said, no, I've got it wrong. I'm sorry. They did a study, and the Americans that responded said that they averaged checking their cell phones 144 times a
Yeah.
day. That was the deal. And
At least.
yeah, and I don't do that. If you want to call me and I don't answer my cell phone, and I want you to know this, Brant, because you got worried about me one weekend,
I
call
did.
call welcome partner, because the calls are forwarded to my home.
Okay.
And uh, call welcome partner. And if I'm not sleeping, then that's what I'll do, is I'll answer. I also take a regular lunch break Monday through Friday. I take a lunch, well, no, not Wednesdays because I'm playing piano, but
Right.
the
Red
time
River, Amarillo's only live piano lunch with a classically trained musician. Perfect for business meetings
that
and
means I was trained by nuns who had a rolled up piece of paper. DJ, you've got to play it the way
Father
it's supposed.
Fricker will
You're
will
not going to
will
rearrange it.
find a way.
Okay.
Well, I know where you're going with all this, DJ, and I agree. But let's take it a step further, because we only have a few more minutes together on
All
this
right.
show. But folks, surround yourself with people that care about you and that have integrity. You know, do that. And DJ, you run a business that has integrity. It's also effective. It's also important. You saw what happened when Facebook was shut down. All the ad campaigns halted, but you can't shut down something in your mailbox, or a well-designed piece that people will put on their refrigerator and look at, or on their desk, or a scratch pad, or or such. You can't shut that down. And I still believe that the powers that be are going to attempt another shutdown. And it's an election year, right? So no matter
Yeah.
what side of the fence you're on, you better be sure that there
Well, you
will
can
be.
probably tell by my face. I've been thinking when you said, and you can't shut down, you can't shut down. I thought you were going to say, and you can't shut down DJ.
You
See what?
can't shut down DJ. You can't handle the truth, and you can't shut down DJ. Well, DJ, even your networking breakfast, the best I've ever seen in any state, is also a family. It's also therapeutic as well. It's a lot of joy, a lot of negativity out there, folks, and it has an impact on you. That also has an impact on your health, has an impact on your business. It's so connected. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people who are good people, positive people. Doesn't mean we're in denial. It just means that we're choosing to focus on the positive. And you do that, you have a positive life. You take a glass half empty or half full. Well, the glass situation didn't change. Half empty, negative thoughts, negative actions, negative results, negative life. It's half full, positive thoughts, the stupid situation didn't even change. But my chosen perspective was, hey, I'm alive, man. It's half full, positive thoughts, positive actions, positive life. If you sow a thought, you reap an action. You sow an action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap a destiny. Sow a thought, you sow an action. You don't do anything without thinking about it first. Sow a thought, you sow an action, you sow a habit. You sow a habit, you sow character, you reap a character. You sow character, you reap a destiny. And it starts with this and what you choose to put into your spirit and your eyes. And media is a big part of that. That's why we don't take this lightly when we do this positive thing.
And you can be a so and so.
so.
So and you sow and you sow, and then
I'm actually writing a new book. I thought you read my mind. I'm writing a new book called The Power of So. And it's humorous, but it's true. So anyway, all that to say is, we got 1 minute left, DJ, and I sure love you and appreciate you. And folks, if you're watching this, and you can be sure that you're watching two people that love people and use things. We don't love things and use people. Too much, life's too short for that. But I think we're both living a good life, DJ, because we love people and we use things.
And don't forget to ask God how He is once in a while, and He'll tell you.
He might appreciate the encouragement.
Because we just go to Him like He's a slot machine of,
Right.
And it's nice to ask God, hey, how are you doing?
Yes.
Well, I've got this thing going on in New York, or whatever, He never says that. He's got it. He's got it handled.
Got a lot on his hands.
Yeah.
But hey, He's got the whole world in His hands, like the song.
That's right.
So anyway, we love you. Be encouraged. And we'll see you next time with DJ and Brent.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, DJ.